we're going to talk about two things in this video. The first thing, I've never heard anyone else talk about it, and I think these are two of the most important things in life in general, and especially if you're in business, if you're trying to advance in your career, if you're trying to achieve something. I think these two concepts are two of the most important things. They've had a significant impact on me, and it was nothing that anyone ever taught me. It was both of these things happened, I guess, organically. Like I just started doing these two things, and I don't know if it was by accident or I'm pretty sure it wasn't by design, but the first thing before we get into it, actually, let's get right into it, and then I'll tell you a couple stories too. The first thing, and people will talk about important things, like, for example, if you're in business, it's important to learn how to sell. That's not what we're talking about, but that is important, and that's a very important thing. It's important to manage your time well. It's important to be ambitious. It's important to set goals, have goals. All that stuff's important, right? But to me, probably the single most important thing you can do is to develop a habit, mindset, attitude, however you want to say it, however you want to put it, to just always move forward. Always move forward. And there's some people that are going to discount that. But if you think about it, give it a little bit of thought. It's so important. It's so important to just every day move forward. Move forward every day, all the time, constantly. When you're dealing with stuff, move forward. When you got bills, you move forward. You just constantly move forward, because too many times, one of the reasons why you don't want to rely on, for example, motivation, and this has been talked about a lot, and I won't go in depth in this, but most of the time, and anyone who's achieved anything or done anything over a long period of time will tell you that motivation is such a small part of it, because the reality is most days, like for example in business, are a grind. Most days are a grind. I mean, I know people will come out there and tell you, and either one of two things: either A, they're lying, or B, they're just living a totally different life than I figured out, right? But people will come out and act like business is just this great thing, and it is a great thing, but they'll act like it's this great adventure every single day, and it's like a highlight reel every day. But the reality is, it's like most days are a grind, and most days you're overworked and you're overwhelmed and you've got too much to do, and you feel like you don't have enough time. And then add on to when you've got family, you've got a wife, you've got a girlfriend, you've got relatives, maybe you're supporting or taking care of, it becomes even more. But and the problem is too, a lot of times, even for ambitious people, because I've been there before, in the sense that where I might push real hard for a couple months, and then maybe I have a month where maybe I'm not working as hard, or I'm not pushing as hard, and it's this attitude of just constantly moving forward, even when it feels like you're not moving forward. It's just to keep going, and to keep. For example, like in my business, it was to make more calls, to just keep moving forward, in the sense of you might have some late payments, or you might have a late payment on a bill or something. You move forward. And it's a little bit hard to put into words, because it's really it's something it's in your psyche that you've got to develop. You've just got to have that attitude where you're just going to keep going. You're just going to keep going. And one of the other things that I think is really, really important, and I said that other thing, moving forward is the most important, but this is I rank these two as very high. It's the fact that everybody's got, you'll hear, oh, everyone's got problems. No. Here's the reality. Everyone's got a lot of problems. Not everyone's got problems. Everyone's got a lot of problems. Everybody. And you will never get rid of them in your lifetime. My video just cut out again, so it's because I'm running out of space on my iPad. But anyway, so it's one stream, but I just had to it just cut out there, so I had to pick it back up. But what I was saying is that everybody's got lots of problems in the sense that in your lifetime you'll never escape them. And what I was saying more specifically, so when you're young, as you get older, you work, you get rid of one problem. You not solve it completely, but maybe you do. But maybe it gets better, like as far as money goes. But then as you get older, you might have health issues. I've had health issues over the last 3 or 4 years, and I'll talk about that maybe in a different video. But it's a thing that you don't think about when you're in your 20s or even in your 30s, and when I was in my 40s, and all of a sudden things started changing a little bit. And I had to deal with those. But it's important to remember too, because as you're going along, you whether it's in business, in career, with your family, when you deal with things, when you have problems, and a lot of times problems hit you, and you'll get hit with a problem, and all of a sudden it feels like it's an avalanche, right? And especially as you get older and you have more responsibilities, and then more things tend to go wrong at the same time. And what happens when you're in those situations, you feel like you're the only one. You really feel like you're the only one. And even when you consciously think, well, I know a lot of people are dealing with stuff, you still feel like you're the only one dealing with this. And it's important to really get in your mind the fact that every single person is dealing with a lot of crap. A lot. They're dealing with it in their jobs. They're dealing with it in their businesses. They're dealing with it in their family. They're dealing with it in their relationships, in their extended families, maybe with their kids, And it's different degrees at different times in different circumstances. It doesn't mean every single person has a terrible family and a terrible job and a terrible finance. That's not what it means. It means that sometimes. And this is almost cliche, the fact that, sometimes when your family life's going great, your job might suffer, because the reality is what happens is a lot of times we're focusing real hard on our career. And then all of a sudden our, family life gets kind of chaotic, but your personal, your income, your business, your job, your money situation is doing real good, because that's where your focus has been. But all of a sudden, because now you've got this fire going on, and now it's like your family life's, everything's chaotic, you're like, okay, well, I got to focus on that. So all of a sudden you start focusing on that. Well, then your business starts taking a crap, or your finances start going in the tank. And so a lot of times we're just juggling. We're playing whack-a-mole. But it's the fact when you're dealing with stuff, when you're going through stuff, it's knowing that everybody's going through stuff. Everybody's going through stuff all the time. All the time. And is there some people that are sometimes, just cruising along? Yeah, you always have those, and what we do, I think, is we'll focus on, someone who's got it all together, whether it be a celebrity, or whether it be a, famous business person, or maybe it's someone and maybe, because here's the reality, there are people out there that have perfect situations, great lives, and everything seems to work out for them. Now, does that mean everything's perfect for them? No, it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that they don't have problems. No, but there are people who have really good situations. Okay, that's the reality. Just the odds of life, the probability. When you study probability in life, that's going to happen. Okay, just on the flip side, there's people who just have bad luck all the way around. It's just, again, probability. That happens. But for the most part, most people are somewhere in the middle, where it's like, yeah, you have good luck, you have bad luck, you have good things, you have bad things, you have good situations, you have bad situations, things work out, things don't work out. And it's the fact that when you're going through stuff, to just know that, number one, if you keep moving forward, you'll get out of those. You can get out of that situation, those problems. Whatever's weighing you down. And the other side of it, the other part of it is that, we'll wrap it on this, is saying that when you're going through stuff, to know you're not the only one going through something. Someone else is too, and a lot of people are. And we'll wrap it right there.